Well, I'm back. Welcome to Sovereign Voices. My name's Renee Dubois, and I am excited in particular to present this broadcast because today, the 22nd or 23rd of what is this month? September? I guess I need Prevagen for the brain, huh? It's exciting because Jimmy Kimmel, a major figure right now because of free speech is returning to the air. Hey, the power of the people, power to the people. Now, that is what I call sovereign voices, where collectively the American people came together and said, this is not going to happen. And literally, Americans all over the United States started canceling their subscriptions to show the power of the wallet. Hey, I love it. And he has been restored. Still don't have news yet on the other comedian. His name escapes me at the moment. But Jimmy Kimmel is back as of tonight. Now, listen, by my own admission, I will tell you, I don't watch shows like that. It's not that I'm against them. I'm always doing something. I'm an LMN fanatic. I love other networks. I don't really watch those kinds of live shows, but what I love about it is the fact that they are available to me should I decide to watch them. I see the clips on the news and all these great things, and I love comedians. In today's world and what we're all contending with, we need some laughter in our life. Things are not, especially in the United States, and you may take exception to that, but if you're in the United States, you're not taking exception to that comment. It's madness. It's just pure madness. Under one man with several loyalists with no brain. There's no other way to put it. And again, I don't watch these shows, but I love the fact that they're there, that they are available. There is a litany of options in television, as it should be, in radio, as it should be. And free speech is about free speech. Now, there are different categories of speech, isn't it? I'm just going to jump right into the nitty gritty here. If you don't like what a person says, it's okay. It doesn't float your boat. It doesn't melt your butter. I get it. There's a lot out there that didn't float my boat or melt my butter, starting with Charlie Kirk. May he rest in peace. But you have to understand that Charlie Kirk was not and is not even presently today the only one that spewed hate racial speech. It's happening right from the top of the White House. Every day, all day, you wake up to this negative, vile, awful language and lies about achievements. It's just not true. But he's free to tell the lie, isn't it? He's free to try to articulate himself and those who are in his administration to make you believe through lies and propaganda that what they're saying is true, even though you may be tangibly able to touch and make sure that what is being spoken is true. Now, that's not just happening in the United States, it's happening all over the world. But free speech also contains various levels of free speech. You've got mean speech. You've got free speech. You've got speech that's not so comfortable. You've got all types of speech that people are articulating in their right because they think they're right or they want to be right. Let me share something with you that my father, before he died of neoblastoma brain cancer, used to say all the time. He was a pastor, and he did and said a lot of things all over the world in his ministry. But the one thing he never did was criticize others and what they believed. I'm sorry, but he didn't do it. As a pastor, he felt that he had to take a lot more responsibility. Now, that is true free speech. When you recognize that what you say can harm others, can deter others, it can empower others, or it can destroy others. Listen, folks, there's just too many off the wall, cracker crazy people who are mentally ill. That's the truth. That's not just my free speech, that is factual speech. There are people who are mentally ill. They're living and breathing among us. Some of them have jobs, some of them don't, and they are free, as it were, to say, to think, to believe as they so choose. What's interesting about that is when you have a podium or a pulpit, as pastors would call it, or a platform, as imams in Islam would call it, you also have, with that free speech, with that power of your speech, to be truthful and to use your free speech responsibly. It's not responsible as a leader or as an influencer or as someone with a podium or a platform, whatever you want to call it, to denigrate, to assume that you have the right, even though you have the right to say and think what you want, with a public platform. Is it wise and is it really free speech when you use it to incite violence? Oh, now I'm talking here. It's not free speech when you are inciting violence, when you are encouraging violence, when you are in a subtle way through your free speech trying to empower some crazy bloke to run out, grab an AR-15, and start shooting school children down, blowing their bodies into 60 pieces. That's not free speech. That's pure craziness. That's pure evil. So those of us, including myself, who have platforms must understand the difference between free speech to empower others in a good way, or free speech to empower others in an evil way. Let me share something with you that Dad used to talk about all the time, and I think you will agree with it, because as you watch me or as you listen to me, what I'm about to share with you, you have just as I have. Dad used to say that God has given us all 5 very powerful tools. And all 5 or 4 of those tools, I should say, are inside the head. Now, watch me as I demonstrate this. The first powerful tool that claim that God has given us are the eyes. The eyes are for observation. The next powerful tool is the nose. He said the nose was for inhalation. The third powerful tool is the mouth. The mouth is for articulation. And then the last and fourth and final powerful tool contained in the head are the ears. The ears are for information. So here we have the eyes for observation, the nose for inhalation, the mouth for articulation, and the ears for information. My question: how are you using those four powerful tools that we all have? Granted, some people use the eyes for observation in a way that you and I do not, because maybe they're blind or their sight has been weakened from glaucoma or a stroke in the eye or some other, you know, attack on their visual senses. And yet, with those attacks, they're still capable of observing. I've talked with people who are blind or partially blind, and they're able to use the eyes for observation in a litany of ways, through touch, believe it or not, through senses, as well as through smell and visual. When we observe with our eyes, we are looking at something that we either find appalling or appealing, isn't it? When we listen to things, it's either appalling or appealing. When we smell things, it's either appalling or appealing. When we speak and say things, it's either appalling or appealing. Hello? How are you using the four most powerful senses in your head? Through your platform, through your community, through your village, through your job, through your ministry, through your politics? How are you using it? Again, we all can observe with the eyes on one level or another. We all inhale and sense, smell. Did you know that someone can say or do something that you find appalling and it affects your inhalation? You get a bad smell. It even affects your articulation. You get a bad, have you heard, taste in the mouth for something somebody said or did that you just found just grossly insensitive? Are you clear that all four of these senses have the same capability to sense, to adhere, to embrace, to touch, feel, heal, and inspire all the same way, all the same time, while at the same time, all four of these senses have been created to be individualized while at the same time coming together collectively? I'm happy for Jimmy Kimmel. I'm happy that he's returning to the air on September 23rd, which I believe is today. And I think it speaks powerfully for the senses that were used by the American people to say, hell no, this is not going to go on. In my article beneath this video, I've written and given you more explicit details, more facts that you already know and maybe you don't know. The point that I'm making is the video is to visually appeal to you from my heart. I've already declared that I don't want you to come to my platform looking for me to speak nasty, looking for me to throw stones. We all live in some form of a glass house, meaning transparency, because we all have things behind us that we want to remain behind us. Some actors, politicians have gone to jail, and they use that as an accent to their platform to draw more authentication towards who they are, what they are about. Some feel that it enhances their understanding about their constituency. And I would agree with that on many levels. The purpose of this program, this broadcast, is to enlighten your senses all four of them, on perhaps my examples from my father that you can use going forward in your life, in your work, in your ministry, in your politics, just in your life in general, maybe in a different way to enhance and be the citizen you desire to be. If you're living under an oligarchy or a dictator, wannabe dictator, a leader that is clearly showing they're not for the people, you have got to find ways to express freely your speech, your voice. This is the reason I call this broadcast, this show, Sovereign Voices. I'm using my voice to speak for those who don't have a platform. Sovereign Voices, you've heard me say, is for those who have a platform but are not sure how to use their voice. Or maybe they are in fear of using their voice. Sovereign Voices is to articulate not only the sovereignty of God upon all of us, but the sovereignty of your identity, of your voice, how you choose to use your voice and the words that come from your voice. I have said many times, and I will say it again. May Charlie Kirk rest in peace. I didn't agree with one bloody word he ever shared, but he didn't deserve to be killed the way he was. That's the last time I will hopefully have to say that. I also said and have maintained that his mouth made him a target. His words got him killed. And that, my friends, apply to all of us. People are too unhinged and much too unstable to listen to voices that are encouraging a coup or encouraging violence, telling people to go down to the Capitol and destroy it, telling people to create a hanging gallows to hang the vice president. I don't care what you say. That is mean. That is evil. That is hate speech. That is violent speech. And there's no place in any part of the world for that kind of speech because there are people that are going to take action on it. In closing, I want to remind you of something I said before. Man believes in counting numbers. God believes in making numbers count. How are you going to make your voice count? What is it that you have decided to do or will do to make what you do count? I'm using my broadcast of Sovereign Voices to make it count. Some people won't do it because they don't have 5 million followers. So you can still melt butter and float boats with what little you have to say. And those of you I see on Instagram and Facebook and other platforms, kudos to you, bravo to you. You may not have the credentials of many of us. You may not be able to articulate powerfully like many of us, but whatever it is you have to say, it's your voice and you are free to use it. Hopefully, you are choosing to use your voice and your words to uplift, to touch, to heal, and inspire. Again, I am applauding and happy and rejoicing with many Americans who are happy to see Jimmy Kimmel live return to the air. That's the power of the voice. Oh, there's no other way to put it. And I'm so happy for Jimmy Kimmel. And I'm hoping to see others who have been removed from their jobs on MSNBC, on other major networks. I'm looking forward, and I'm not mentioning their names only because, not out of disrespect or that I don't like them, nothing of the sort. I can't think of their names at the moment. There's so much on me right now. I'm not thinking of their names. And Jimmy Kimmel is recent, and so I'm thinking of it. But there are others who have lost their platforms. And I am encouraged that you too will return to your platform to continue with your unique comedy, your unique voice, to voice what you think about the current administration, the current way of life, the current speakers and influences, whatever is on your heart as a comedian. I mean, you got to really have pretty thin skin to attack comedians who are speaking really truth about you. Oh, you're real insecure to attack a comedian and yet be guilty of all the nasty things that are being said, being the prime leader of it. Hello? So, congratulations to all of you who are returning to the air. Power to the people, power to the voice of the people, and power to the freedom of speech. I'm Renee Dubois. I thank you for watching. I thank you for listening. Remember, your eyes are for observation. Your nose is for inhalation. Your mouth is for articulation. And your ears are for information. Check and verify. I think it was Lincoln or one of them who always said, check but verify the information that you're receiving so that when you articulate yourself, you are articulating freely with your free speech, but with honest, truthful, empowering speech. And what you are inhaling in your heart, your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit is good for you, your family, and those around you. And what you are visually observing, you are observing, hopefully, what you agree with. No matter your politics, all power to you, but do it with a good heart, a clean heart. Let it be known that your words, the abundance of your words are coming from your heart, a good heart, a heart made of flesh and not of stone. Hey, what else can I say about that? I'm Renee Dubois, and you've been watching and listening to Sovereign Voices. All the best to you, your family. May God bless not only America, but may God bless the United Nations and the nations of the world. Peace be unto all of you. Thank you for watching and for listening. Merci beaucoup. Bonne journée. Au revoir.